Hey guys, and welcome to It's a King Thing with Miss Ray. And I'm Miss Ray, of course. I wanted to talk to you today about love. Love, love, love. What it means to have love, to want love, to receive love, to be open to love. Let's talk about love. I had the most amazing opportunity to officiate a wedding a few days ago. And it's always important for me to know that this marriage will last, that you're willing to do the work, that you're willing to thug it out, as I say. Because marriage is not simple. Relationships are not simple. It is not easy. It takes work. It takes everyday, constant work. And I need to make sure that the two people that I am putting together to death do they part is how it's supposed to go. That they both are agreeing, at least in front of me, they are agreeing that they will do the work, that they will fight it out, that they will thug it out, but they will stand together through the test of time. That is oh so important to me. And I say this before I marry people, I say this during the ceremony. And if there are a couple that I will have future contact with, I will continue to say it. There is no quitting once you get married. Quitting is not an option, short of domestic violence, um, attempted homicide, assault. Then we have to renegotiate that. But short of those things right there, I feel like you can make it through if both parties are willing to do the work. Um, this couple was so loving, and one was very um, not standoffish. What is the word I'm going to use? One was very closed and guarded for a long time until he met his mate. And his mate was the same way. So when the two of them met, when I asked them, "What did you think when you first met this person?" And this person said, "Well, I feel like, you know, he listened. The more we spoke, he paid attention. The more he listened and talked to me, I felt loved. I felt loved. I felt safe. I felt loved. I felt safe." And when someone tells you that this person makes them feel safe, that's important. You have to hear that. That person made them feel safe. When I asked the other person, "What made you know that this was your person?" I felt loved. The more time I spent, I felt loved. I felt safe. So they both felt like this was their safe space. You don't always find a safe space. So when you find it, you have to pay attention. They may not look like you expect them to look. They may not work where you expect them to work. They may not have what you expect them to have. But when you find someone that puts you first, that cares about your well being, that cares about your feelings, that is willing to do whatever to make you smile, to give you safety, to give you peace, that's what you have to pay attention to. Because not everybody cares about your safety or your peace. Hell, they don't care if you have enough money to pay for dinner. All they care about is what you're giving them. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not saying I'm speaking to your relationship. I'm just saying in general. And when you find someone that puts you first, second only to God, that's 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 it. He puts you or she puts you first, second only to God, you better run with that person. I'm telling you, because you don't get that often. As I watch them exchange vows, and the one person, tough talking Tommy, as I call it, um, was just so overwhelmed with emotion. I mean, had the whole wedding party crying, like took us out. So overcome with emotion. The words were so heartfelt. They were so genuine. And once that person started, we just all went downhill. We just all went downhill. I was like, I ain't gonna make it through the ceremony. Like, I literally have never cried through a ceremony. This was my first, and prayerfully my last, because baby, it took me out. Like the emotion that that person exuded was so extraordinary and heartfelt. You could not help but cry as those vows were read. And then when it came time for the other person to say the vows, again, with such heartfelt emotion, everybody was a blubbering idiot. We were just all blubbering. And I was like, okay. During the ceremony, I could hear myself saying, you got this, you could do this, you got this, you could do this. Okay? Because, baby, they had me all in my feelings. It reinforced my hope of one day finding my forever person. Because again, if that person doesn't put you first, second only to God, if that person doesn't care about your well being, your emotions, your spiritual, mental, physical, financial well being, then what I need you for? I can do bad by myself. I don't need any assistance. I don't. So as I watch these two exchange vows, that I made them right, because I'm not. Y'all need to put it out there. Say what you feel. Put it on paper so you don't miss a beat. And when I tell you they did that, had me all in my feelings, honey. I couldn't have asked for a better ceremony. It was amazing, simply amazing. I wish them nothing but the best. I hope that 20 years from now, they look back at that ceremony and laugh, but it still stirs up in them the same emotion as the day they said those vows. I wish them longevity and peace and joy that surpasses all understanding. Like, I wish them nothing but the absolute best. You know, I I watched them. I watched them mingle. I watched how one doted on the other. I watched how they looked after one another. I watched it. And I'm not saying that every relationship or any relationship is perfect, because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Let me be clear. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship, but it has to be perfect for you, because nobody's in that relationship but you, your mate, and God. Those are the only three in that relationship. Anybody else don't matter, and they need to stay out of it. You know what I mean? It's easy to tell somebody, "Oh, girl, I wouldn't take this, girl, I wouldn't take that, and blah 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 blah." Uh-huh. Sure you wouldn't. But if he's giving me 98% of everything else I asked for, and the other little 2% he's doing X, Y, and Z, he can have a 2%. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship. Now, let's talk about expectations. Because see, ladies, we tend to, like my little niece the other day, the door, she went to open the door. And all the men was walking behind us, and they went over the door. I said, if you don't let go of that door handle and step back for these men to open the door, for you to walk in, she was like, oh, absolutely. Let me get you right together. You don't open the door and you here with a bunch of men. That's what you don't do. That's not acceptable. at all. He's supposed to walk on the side of the street closest to the street to protect you. He's supposed to be your protector. He's supposed to cover you. He's supposed to lead you. That's what your man, your husband is supposed to do. Women, you're supposed to uplift and edify your man. He should come home and have dinner. He should come home and have a clean house. If you at home all day. My mother always said if you come home, if your husband come home from work, what he should be able to have is a clean house, a hot meal, and a wet coochie. That's what she said. I feel like if you sit at home all day, that's the least he could do. The very least he could do is come home to a clean house, a hot meal, and a wet coochie if he should show desire to have some. You got to stop sitting your ass on TikTok and Snapchat and all the rest of them things, Facebook, looking at all these bras on the Real Housewives and Hollywood Hip Hop and any of the other shows that I just make up these names half of them because I don't watch it. But stop watching that because it's not real. That is scripted TV. I wish you guys would get that. It is scripted TV. When they throw on them glasses, 90% of those are plastic. Just for the record, because it was scripted. It's not real. Stop believing in the hype. It's all hype. When a man that worked all day at a job, shucking and jiving for the man, as we say, the least he could do is come home to a peaceful place. His home, his castle that he provides for. He should be able to come home and have peace of mind. Not, you ain't talking about nothing. Your tail so busy on social media all day long and ain't made a dollar, nickel, quarter, or a penny from it. Make it make sense to me, ladies. But you want a $400 weed, but the man can't come in to a fresh meal and not one that you took out of the microwave. So if you can't cook, here's a tip for you, little young ladies. There's a thing called YouTube University that will teach you how to cook. There are people on Instagram that will teach you how to cook. You can go on and order HelloFresh. Comes with a recipe and all the ingredients, or 95 or 98% of the ingredients that you need to cook a meal for your husband that worked all day at work so you can sit your ass at home on the couch on social media. Because believe me, baby, what you won't do, another woman will. We call her the cleanup woman. She cleans up the messes that you make. Now, you could think I'm just talking because I don't have nothing better to do. Believe me, I do, and you guys should know this by now. I have other things to do. But I'm trying to help you. Because there was a time, many, many moons ago, I used to be said cleanup woman. Took my job very seriously. Yeah. Because you know what I don't do? I don't argue. I don't cause stress. We can kick it. We can go out to eat. I will not embarrass you in public. I know how to dress in public and I know how to act in public. You guys might want to take a lesson. Because, honey, you want to get out in public and act a monkey fool and embarrass this man. There's a cleanup woman hanging out in the wings just waiting for him to take him. I'm just saying. She don't want to keep him, though. Let's be clear. Well, some of these newfound finger ones, they want to keep him. But the real OGs, they don't want to keep him. They just want to give him a peaceful place to come lay his head and lay his troubles down. And then once he's all better, we send him on home back to you. See, you got to know how to play your position. I'm telling y'all, keep your man at home. Act like you got some home training. And if you don't, come on over to the It's the King Thing podcast and I'll give you some. Don't let that man come home and the house is dirty. Well, I've been here with the kids all day. Girl, that's an excuse. Put their little ass in a playpen and clean up that nasty house. period. No excuses. Turn off the TV, put the phone down, and clean up your house and make your man a meal. He ain't asking for too much. A good hot meal when he come in the door. See, my ex-husband will tell you. What he couldn't tell you was his house was never not dirty. He couldn't tell you that. Excuse me. What he couldn't tell you was his house was never not clean. He couldn't tell you that his kitchen wasn't never not clean. And he couldn't tell you when he walked in the door, his food wasn't coming straight out the oven. Period, point blank. Because my mama taught me that. You heard me? Some of these mamas ain't teaching it, so let me just teach you. Let Miss Ray help you help yourself. Clean up your house, baby. When the man come in from work, let his meal be fresh out the oven. Make his plate. Okay? Make his plate. Because he done been sitting at work 8, 10, 12 hours kissing the ass of the man to keep a job so he can keep a roof over your head and keep you in the lifestyle that you're accustomed to. Show him that you're grateful. Okay? Show him that you're grateful. Because I tell you, it's a cleanup woman waiting in the wings for him. And if you think I'm lying, check his inbox. Check his text messages. Oh, that old high school friend that let him get away back in high school, they starting to come back around. You better ask about it. Them folks from high school and junior high school, they coming back. Or folks they worked with 20 years ago, that Facebook and Instagram baby is breaking up some households. Y'all little I think I'm cute women, you better check yourself, baby. Cause see, yeah, he love you, maybe, but is he in love with you? Hmm? Is he in love with you? There's a distinct difference. And if you're not sure, come back for a different episode and we'll talk about it. That's what we'll do. But y'all gotta stop thinking that love is enough because it's not. You gotta put the work in. You got to put the work in. It is so easy to get a man, but it is so hard to keep him. The same way you got him is the same way you have to keep him. You know, it's all cute when it's, oh, in the beginning, baby. Now you trying to hold on to him because the Donquita and them that came by and she done twerked and some things in his inbox. And he remembered back in the day when she used to do some things that you don't do or had never done. Mm. He flashing back. And since you like to argue, and Daquita and Boquiqui, you don't like to argue, she give him what he want. Face down, ass up. Yeah, she do all of that. And she don't argue. See, you got to play your cards right. Act like you like him. Act like you love him. Cook him a meal. Clean his house up. Act like you appreciate him when he come in the door. But make sure you're consistent with it. Don't start something now and then 20 days from now, hell, 7 days from now, you back to the old you. Baby, that ain't what you do. You got to act like you appreciate this man for what he does. I'm sure he don't want to get up and go to work every day. And if you do, it's to get away from you. Oh, did I say that out loud? My bad. Not. I said what I said. I said what I said. Listen here, honey bunches of oats. What you won't do, another woman will. Shout out to my mama for that lesson when I was 16 years old. Baby, what you won't do, another woman will. And that goes for the men. Y'all men act like y'all got it like that. Y'all king ding-a-ling and boop boop bop bop. But baby, if you ain't treating her right, it's somebody in her inbox too. It's somebody trying to get her attention right now. And since you ain't acting right, she low key giving him a little bit of attention. I said what I said. Now, it's the homie from high school. Uh huh. But that same homie from high school, that's got some unresolved feelings you just don't know about. I said what I said. And if he play his cards right and he got a good spit game, she gonna meet him for coffee. And then coffee might turn into lunch or dinner and texting. See, let me explain something to you guys and you girls. An emotional affair is worse than a physical one, baby. Let me say it to you again for those in the back that didn't hear me. An emotional affair is worse than a physical one. See, I know some people, they want to be with you, but they with somebody else. So yeah, they over there. But like the song said, it ain't where it's at. It's where he want to be, baby. Because he there with you, but he really want to be here with me. That's the worst kind of affair there is. Because no matter what you do, sweetheart, you can't reach that until he decides he want to stop having an emotional affair. He gonna stay emotionally attached to that other person. And so physically, yeah, he's there, but emotionally, honey, he has checked out. He belongs somewhere else. And no matter what you do, and no matter what you say, until he decides that he doesn't want to be in that emotional entanglement anymore, he gonna stay in it, and you can't reach it. Oops, I said what I said. And if you think I'm lying, go ask your brothers or go ask your daddy, who's still in love with their ex from way back yonder. But don't tell your mama or don't tell your sister-in-law. Uh-huh, I said what I said. See, I shout out to my brothers for all the teachings that they have given me. I shout them out because they game was so cold, and I'm glad they taught me the game. I shout out to my mama who told me things that most mothers probably shouldn't tell their kids, but it's a necessity because if you don't, you'll let TV think that this is the way it's supposed to be, and it's not. Like my mama said, what you won't do, another one will. Oh, not with mine, she won't. Because we can get it in. What you want to do, baby? Say less. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all got to start talking about what you do and don't do, what you will and what you won't do. Honey, tell him that from the beginning so he can make a decision if he want to do it or not. Because there's nothing worse for a man getting into a relationship with a woman and everything she was doing now that she thinks she got him, she don't do no more. Mm, I said it. I said it. I meant it. I stand 10 toes down on it. Period, point blank. At the end of the day, what you did to get him, you're going to have to continue to do to keep him. So if you didn't fuss and fight before you got him, you're going to have to continue not fussing and fighting. If you was giving him sex all the time, you're going to have to continue to give him sex all the time. You can't just stop what you were doing to get him because you feel like you got him now. And it's the same with you men. If you was gobbling and swallowing and doing all those wonderful things for her and buying Birkin bags and all this old mess to get her, that's what you're going to have to do to keep her because she's accustomed to that. And when you start acting differently, oh, there's somebody in the wings waiting for her too, baby. Believe that. So if I were you, whatever it took to get her, you better keep that same energy because if you don't, Daquan and them is already in her inbox, shooting her little stuff on Facebook, liking her pictures on Instagram, liking her TikTok, and next thing you know, they having coffee or lunch, and then they text it in their inbox and they messenger. That messenger, ooh, honey, be careful. And then I learned a new thing. You can do invisible text message. Did y'all know about the invisible text messages? I did not know about that. You can text it, and once the person swipes the little screen and read it, it disappears. Y'all better stop playing with these folks and act like you want to keep who you got. And if you don't want to keep them, here's the thing: let them go. Let them go find somebody that's going to love them the way they need and deserve to be loved. Don't just be holding on to them like some damn trinket on the shelf. Let them go so that they can get the love that they so want and desire. And you can find the love that you so want and desire. But just holding on to somebody, just be holding on to them just because you can, it's not cool at all. If you realize that you two have grown apart, be man enough or woman enough to say, okay, this isn't working. Either we're going to figure out how to make it work, we're going to fight it out, or y'all just go your separate ways because you're making each other miserable. And life is too short to be miserable. I need y'all to get it. Life is too short to be miserable. I always say I can do bad by myself. I don't need no assistance. So, before you go around destroying people's emotions because you done dogged them out because you really want out and you just don't want to say it, be a man or a woman enough to say, you know what, this is not working. Or when you see somebody you like and that you really have feelings for and um, you want to invest in them, you want to cultivate it and see where it's going to go, let them know because you know what? If you don't let them know and you just sitting back, watch them from afar like a stalker, somebody else is going to swoop in and take what you want. And then you're going to be all upset and they looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Because you never told them that you wanted them. So what you thought they was Cleo and they knew? You see what happened to Cleo, right? I'm just saying. Y'all have got to be good to one another. Be good to yourself. Put you first, second only to God, and everything will fall into play if you do each other right. But you messing with this one, you talking to this one, you're married to this one. Oh, did I say that? I did. Or better yet, you bisexual and your wife or your husband don't know. Oh, did I say that? I did. Be honest with yourself. Tell them the truth. Hell, you don't know. Some might be with it and some might not be. But give them the respect. Give them the respect of knowing your truth and let them decide if they want to deal or not. But being deceitful and lying about who you are is hurtful to you and to them. And sometimes it even makes somebody snap and they wind up doing homicide. And that ain't what you want. When all you had to do was tell them the truth and let them decide if they wanted to deal or not. Don't take away a person's option to choose. Don't do that. It's not cool. It's not cool. And you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. I always tell people if you put yourself in that other person's shoes when you're doing what you're doing, I bet you wouldn't do it. Like I'll be dating somebody and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go on the guys trip to X, Y, Z. Oh, okay, well that's great. Have a good time. Well, me and the girls are going to X, Y, Z. Oh, now his little face is tight. So you have a good time and don't do nothing that you don't want me to do. What'd you say? I said, go have a good time, but just don't do nothing you don't want me to do. You talking about lips and jaws swole up. Lips and jaws are swole up. What that's supposed to mean? All I said was, have a good time, babe, and just don't do nothing you don't want me to do. If you wasn't doing nothing wrong, that shouldn't be a problem, right? We should be okay. But the mere thoughts that I might be doing something that you're doing, baby, takes y'all to the dark side. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But see, if you thought that way, you wouldn't do half the things that you do. If you really loved me like you quote unquote claim you do, then you wouldn't do the things that you do. But like I said, it's okay. Go ahead. I want y'all to have a great time. Just make sure whatever you're doing, it's okay for me to do it too. Then you want to argue. Well, what? Man, what, never mind. I just never. I didn't mean nothing by it. I didn't mean that. Never mind. Cause see, You know what they always say, them old folks, a hit dog will holler every time. A hit dog will holler every time. Okay, guys, love yourself. Just love yourself. Treat yourself good. Just be good to yourself. And on that, I'm going to close out this edition of It's a King Thing with Miss Ray. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes, like F It Friday, because you never know what my F is going to stand for that day. Okay, guys, take care. Here's some Ray from Ray. Ooh. Go and have an amazing day. And if you don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Shout out to my girl, Tabitha Brown. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.